Goodness, goodness. But then, how are you juggling, um, producing then A&R? So, what was your role as an A&R then?
Signing artists, looking for amazing writers. I had an opportunity to introduce a gospel division to Island Black music.
Oh,
Um, they let me sign. They gave me a little imprint, which was SBM at the time, Stan Brown Music.
wow,
So they gave me a partnership. I was then able to sign Karen Clark Sheard to her first solo album.
wow,
I was able to sign Bishop T.D. Jakes to his first solo album
wow.
deal. So partnering with my guy Donald Lawrence. So it it was amazing. So I was an executive by day, producer by night.
Is it by this time that you'd really learned about everything? So you learned.
Yes. 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 I was okay by then.
Oh, were you able to write some of? Were they able to go back since you know that all the stuff, and you're on the other side now? Are they able to say, okay, yeah, we'll shift things around and give you back some of your stuff, or does that gone and you'll have to move forward?
No, from that point, I was the deals, the bulk of the bad deals were happening in the earlier hip hop stages when I was playing keyboards and I should have gotten some publishing for creating
Mm,
whatever and didn't get it. But it was okay because for me, um, it got me to the next room.
yeah,
You know, so how I look at it is I didn't always get, what was fair,
yeah,
but it gave me opportunities
yeah.
to go on to the next. And so when I got in the next room, I was a little smarter than I
Yeah.
was in the previous. So it worked out.
When I interviewed Rodney, I asked him about, um, most of us know him for his faith, but a lot of us understand that the industry, the music industry and entertainment industry, has a very dark side. How were you able to, you know, maneuver as a Christian in those early days, within this industry and all the temptations and distractions that could come along with it?
Because I never had to stop one thing to do another, right? I was always committed to my church. I was always at the Wednesday night, the midweek service
Wow.
prayer. I was always at the Friday night service. I was always at church all day on Sundays. So I never shifted my faith or got so caught up in the industry where I was no longer connected to my spirituality. And it was being in church and still serving on my instrument at the church that kept me balanced. And even to this day, when you talk about Rodney, Darkchild, these are the conversations that we have on a regular. We talk more about our conversations are more faith driven than they are production driven. So my point is when you have people around you, especially in this industry, who are working on both sides, who understand both sides, and we keep each other in check, where you don't become where you can be in it and not of it. You understand? It's
Yeah.
important to have people that you can talk to, and when just kind of keep you straight and keep you centered.
So you were still, even when you had I'm Dreaming, you were still going back to church on a Sunday.
Every Sunday, never missed a Sunday,
Wow.
never.
My goodness. I mean, that's dedication. And I'm saying that dedication, just knowing how everything can be thrown at you, and almost as if there's a sense of if we bring him down, that's we've got him. And so there's either relying on God's protection and not being, um not just tempted but being really distracted. So it must be a really hard thing. So how did you keep your studio sort of, um in a sanctified way, where temptations weren't thrown in there to distract you while you're making your music, and you know, because you know artists can be known for, you know, saying this is how I work creatively, and then producers like, well, anything goes.
Well, for me in my studio, it's always been understood without even being spoken, you know, verbally or expressed verbally, what my stance would be on certain things, and how I preferred my environment to be, and what I wanted my environment to feel like. So if it was always understood, and if there was a problem, guys who I work with were respectful enough to just go to another facility. You know what I mean? So I would avoid all of that because it's just me, and not to pass judgment or say anybody, you know, or to condemn anyone for their actions. I just know what works for me. So I just, you know, I choose to have my environment the way I have my environment. So it's always worked out. Always. There's
So
never been a problem.
Because you'd already laid the sort of markers, so people, like Rodney says, people knew his background, his faith, so they knew not to cross the line. So they respected that. It's almost for the ones who are afraid to stand for their faith. They seem to be the ones who have to compromise, and then it seems to be the ones who sort of fall apart.
Right. And to be honest with you, Namdi, a lot of that I've watched and I've learned from Rodney, watching how he moved in his facilities, and watching him work with artists from the biggest to the smallest, and how he navigated those relationships and what the environment felt like. So that was kind of my inspiration as well.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the Halftime Chat community. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, why don't you consider being a member? That's a way of supporting the channel, but also getting a lot of videos ahead of time, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and some exclusive content that doesn't get shared. But anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of Halftime Chat.